Everybody is either A, worried about what happened in the past, how can I fix it? They forget that it's an experience that you have. That experience is teaching you the next time you experience that, you're going to react differently. So you being affected and you thinking about it is going to help you in your next experience. Welcome back to my podcast. I say my podcast, but I feel like it's our podcast because you're now like sitting in that chair again. I feel like we're repeating ourselves, but you know what? This was a great, a great section. Like I thought it was pretty good. You get the piano.
No, you know what? I feel like I've been doing podcasts for a while, so I think I'm good at asking questions, and
for sure.
And I don't know a lot about what we're going to talk about. So
it's unknown, right? Yeah. So I get it. And you're like, you would be the audience that doesn't understand, what I'm bringing forward. Like, yeah, I get it.
I'm hoping I can be that voice. I'm hoping I can be the guy that asks the question that people on the other side of the cameras are wanting to ask, right?
For sure.
So today we're going to be talking about meditation. Is that it?
Yeah. So today I thought we were talking about it. I thought meditation, and what does meditation mean to me, right? So we had this discussion a couple of weeks ago that meditation can be in so many forms, right? Mm-hmm. You could be gardening and meditating. You could be cooking and meditating. You could do a guided meditation. Or you can actually just sit there like everybody thinks and meditate, right?
Okay,
Close your eyes and meditate.
Okay, so for me, what does that mean exactly? So in your words, like, what does meditation mean then? If you can be doing different things and be meditating, so how does that all work?
So for me, meditation centers me. So it's literally mindless. So I remove all thoughts that are in my head that's stressing me out. I exit them out of my head. And once it's a blank canvas, I proceed to just meditate. I think you tried it though, and because it's kind of hard to say.
I've been trying.
You have, and that's amazing. And so I want to specify that this is my perspective on meditation because this is what meditation means to me, right? To try to tell somebody exactly what meditation looks like, everybody perceives meditation differently, right? So like I said to you, I had somebody on my team say to me, well, when I go look for rocks or gems, that's meditation for me. So I can't say to Stu on my team and say, Stu, you're wrong. It's true. He's right. It's what thoughts are not flooding your mind, right? Because every day we walk through this earth and we have tons of thoughts flooding our head. We're constantly anxious. We're constantly stressed out. We're constantly worried about the next moment. Nobody is living in the present moment. We're either A, worried about the past, what happened in the past, and what do? You hold regret. Or you're worried about the future, which is future stress. So you're thinking, how am I going to pay that bill? How am I going to get that next commission? How am I going to get that next client, right? So what meditation does is it brings you right into the moment. So it slams you into the moment. And what you do is you just clear your mind and you clear your worries. And then you recreate your universe, right? So your mind's clear. Once your mind's clear, you come out of meditation, you paint your picture. What do you want, Jamie, in life? What successes mean to you? So if I want, $20 million, then I'm going to paint that canvas. But I do want to emphasize, and this is something that, I joke around with my healer. So I find it funny because if you sit there and you talk to the universe and you're like, I want, but yet you don't give gratitude, which our next podcast will be gratitude. Okay. If you don't give gratitude and give thanks for what you have, then all the spiritual realm is going to hear is what you want, right? So, I'm always like, what's important to you? Family? Then, paint the canvas that you want a healthy family, right? Because, can you live without your family? And then think about the luxuries that will make your life comfortable. So for me, it's like, I watch people. I'm a people watcher, and Zervain laughs about it. I will sit, and watch people and just see how they interact. And it's proven. Everybody is either A, worried about what happened in the past, how can I fix it? they forget that it's an experience that you had. That experience is teaching you the next time you experience that, you're going to react differently. So you being affected and you thinking about it is going to help you in your next experience. So it's amazing. Like, and once somebody gets that understanding where, oh, that experience is going to help me in my next experience, we literally just experience the same moment until you click and you learn it.
So is meditation the answer to get in the moment? Is that what it is?
100%.
Is that
You're literally residing right in the moment. So you're not thinking of the past, you're not thinking of the future, you're living in the present, which we are supposed to do.
And and if you're able to do that, if you're able to disconnect from your thoughts and you're able to just concentrate in the moment, and I've tried a lot of apps and a lot of things that say, you know what, concentrate on your breathing. Yeah. And I guess the reason why they're doing that and saying that is because they want you to just concentrate on something that is naturally happening and you're not worrying about everything else.
It's a distraction. So what it does is your attention is not focused on your problems. What they're doing is they're essentially having you focus on your breath. Mm-hmm. And your breath, you're just distracting yourself from the past issues and the present issues that you're worrying, or the future issues that you're worrying about. And
from a mental or psychological point, what does that do to you? Once you can reach that moment in where you're not thinking about your past, your future, your problems, your bills, anything like that, you finally stepped back. What does that do to
you? You stand forth in your present, like in the present moment. So you literally stand forth. So you lose track of everything. You lose track of time. In meditation, you lose track of everything, and you just stand forth. And that's it, right? So I know you said you experienced this, and and it's true, you did. You were like, it did like 5 minutes, and you don't have to take 2 hours. Like, you really don't. You could sit for 5 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. And in 5 minutes, it could help you. It's proven, right? It could help you center yourself because you literally eliminate everything, all the problems, all the thoughts, all those little bubbles around your head that you're thinking about. It literally, when you're breathing, you have to focus on where you put your thought. So I have to breathe. So all the other problems are gone. They eliminate, right? So you're focused on your breathing. So it's just a technique to get you focused in the present moment. That's all it is.
And speaking of techniques, like aside from concentrating on breathing or something like that, what other techniques have you seen that work with some other people? And again, I'm going to have to say other people because I think that everybody's a little bit different.
Very different. Yeah, this is just I do want to put a rider. Like, I love these riders that we put, riders. Disclaimer. Yeah, disclaimer, right? So I do want to say, this is my perspective only, right? So just like everybody has an opinion on different topics, this is my opinion solely on this. There could be actual, techniques that work, that are proven, but this is what I believe that work for me, right? So that's the only reason why I'm giving my opinion on this matter. So
and what is the trick that you do for yourself to get yourself into that position? Or even if you want to go a little bit back and say, okay, when I started doing this is what I noticed that started working for me.
So for me, it was the music, so the frequency of music. So I use I'm usually at 528. So that's a frequency meditation music that I use. I start off with that. Before getting into meditation, I teach my kids this technique. So it's kind of funny. I will ball up any thought. So I will literally stand there balling up any worry that I have, and then I throw it away. So I'm actually doing the action. I know it's kind of funny, but I do it with my kids. Mm. So you're balling up anger. I am mad at a situation that happened today. Throw it away. I am upset about something else. Throw it away. So I'm throwing away all my thoughts, my emotions that shouldn't resonate with me because they're low frequency. So I'm getting rid of it. Once that happens and I'm calmer, and I'm actually laughing because it's kind of funny when you're doing it, because I teach my kids that. And then I get into, I meditate laying down. I don't sit up. I want to be as comfortable as possible. And then I meditate for about an hour and a half. So, yeah. So, I did get to it.
How long does it take you to get into that state though?
Now, is within like minutes. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much. But I also want you to know this has been a year. I've been working on this for a year. And on top of that, a lot of things don't stress me out anymore. I don't know what happened. There's come a point, and you worked with me a couple of years ago when I was high strung. You now deal with me now doing this channel. There, you have to see something. Yeah. So, and I'm not saying, I just believe that I don't feel like I need to stress out about things as much as I used to. Like I used to be so high strung. I'd be like, Jamie, I need this now, tomorrow. Where I believe that timing is everything. And when you're in the right frame of mind, and I like that you were meditating. So I'm like, okay, focus on your meditation, Jamie, because that's where your creativity will come through, right? Because at your most peaceful moment will your creative juices flow, right? And then you will be able to, do whatever possible. Whatever you're best at will come through. But when you're stressed out and you're full of anxiety and you're worried about the past and you're worried about what's to come and you're not in this present moment, you're living on like the edge. And I feel horrible. Like I feel horrible for people that go through that. Like I feel really sad for them. Where me, I'm very laid back now. Like I'm not stressed out about anything. And it's like, I want to live like this. I want my kids to see me like this. I don't want my kids to see me in a stressful, because then that pushes onto them, right? So, homeschooling them was huge. And Zervain says to me, he's like, you have so much patience. Where if I feel my son is not grasping and understanding, I tell him to meditate. So I'm like, okay, close your eyes. I'm like, start following your emotion, throw it away. So as a child, I'm teaching my kids this. Should this not be taught to adults now? And I look at adults now as children. So if I'm in a dispute with somebody, for me to have compassion for them, I think about them as a child, and were they taught all these techniques? No, they didn't have the opportunity, but my kids are going to have the opportunity. And they start off every day with meditation. You can ask them. All of them start with meditation and they start with following their emotions. So if they get angry, they have to face that anger. They have to face that emotion so they can get through it. And whether it be, I find that when they do, like if we skip meditation for the day, I find that they're so scattered and they're so living on, every emotion possible. But when they do their meditation with me, the guided meditation that I put together for them, which eventually we will do here for parents that want to use it with their kids, I do that. And they are so relaxed. Like they're not as sporadic. They're not as scattered, brains.
Do you feel that meditation is like a reset button for the brain?
100%.
So
100%. You're connecting with your inner self. So I believe wholeheartedly you're going back to home base and you're recentering yourself. I truly believe, because there will be times where I missed a meditation on Sunday to Monday. I missed it because I did a spot for my kids. I wanted to treat all my kids and my husband for Love Day. So I totally skipped it. On Monday, I started feeling anxious. Like I was anxious. And I never noticed, it wasn't like I have to meditate. But the kids even know. They're like, oh, you're a professional meditator. But it's not even about that. That helps center me, right? That's what I'm saying to me. But even cooking does that for me. But on that Sunday, I totally skipped it. Monday, like I said, I was anxious. Everything just didn't sit well with me, right? And I don't know why. So I meditated and I went right back to center and I felt great and I moved on with life, right?
I have to say my experience with this meditation aspect of life is I've always been trying to get myself into this, but you know me, I have a very busy life, like everybody. I mean, I'm not saying I have a busier life than anybody, but I think we all fall into that though. Like we're so busy, and then when we sit down and close our eyes, it's like a flood of, did I do this? Oh
100%.
man, I have to do that. Oh, the kid is making noise. Oh, this is happening. The dog is, like, there's just it, and it's like you're bombarded, and you're listening to the app and it says, take away all of yours. And you're thinking, how am I going to take away all of these thoughts out of my head? And the guys, concentrate on your breathing. Yeah, I'll concentrate for 1 second. And then again, it rushes in. And I have to say, after trying for so many months, only now, like in the last few weeks, it still takes me a while. I still get flooded by all of these thoughts and all of these things that are happening in my life and all of the things that I think is going to happen in my life. But I get to that moment, and it's been pretty cool. I have to say, it's been pretty cool to, when you realize you're not thinking about anything, and when you come out of that, it's what you're saying. I do feel calm.
100%. Yeah.
I feel like, okay, where do I start now? Like, let's start, organizing life. And do you think that it should be a must for everybody to do meditation? Do you think that everybody should really, really look into that, or their own kind of meditation?
I would 100% recommend it. I would recommend it. Like, I think we're all inundated with medication if we're sick, if we have anxiety, if we have, stress. We're all, I always I'm not like hardcore with, do everything natural. But before I even get into medication, I'm going to try another resource. Like I'll go there. And if it doesn't work for you, then today's not the time for you. Right. I also don't believe that to tell everybody has to meditate is also the right answer. I do believe that just try it. That's it. Like, I believe just try it. And if it works for you today and you feel it resonates with you, then take it and use it. Right. Like, I don't believe that I have somebody on my team that was like, I'm not used to this meditation. And I'm like, just try it. Right? Because I bring it to my team. I want my sales team to not be full of anxiety and stressing out and when's the next paycheck going to come, because that's not going to help them get business, right? I need them to be in a calm state of mind, centered always, right? So, I had one gentleman on my team and he was like, Carm, this is weird for me. I said, just try it. And if it works for you, use it. If it doesn't work for you, then move on. It's not a big deal. But don't knock something if you haven't even tried it. Like, and people do that. They're like, meditation's for like hippies or whatever. And I don't even know what the saying is, but honestly, I believe wholeheartedly, if you haven't tried it, then you have no rights to comment on it. Try it and then make your assumption then.
Yeah, and right? I have to add, and not only try it, but keep trying. Because,
for sure.
Like, from my experience, and I've spoken to other people like that have gone through what I did go through, which is, it doesn't work the first time you're there, because you're really training your mind to do something that it hasn't been doing.
Well, for sure. Just like riding a bike. Are you just going to jump on a bike and be like, I fell off, doesn't work for me, see ya. You have to practice. You have to practice with everything, just like training. If you go work out, your muscle's not going to get, fixed or whatever, like fit. It's not going to get fit, because if you do it one time, it's not going to, you're not going to be fit. You have to consistently work on it, right? But I find that, everybody forms opinions on matters that honestly, they don't even know about. They have no idea. So, I hope this channel honestly serves as, guidance for people.
And are you thinking about doing some meditation guidance?
I am. We talked about this, Jamie. I felt like you led into this.
No,
we are. Yeah, we are. So we're hoping to do I want to do some guided meditation on we're thinking Sunday. So we're still this is all new, and I'm very chilled out about this. I know you're like, okay, we got to do this, and I'm like, okay, Jamie, I feel like we'll do it at the right time. Yeah, I gotta meditate more. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I do want to do some guided meditation for anybody that wants to hop on. Your choice. But I also would love to, for parents who have children, what I do every morning with my kids, I would love to have parents use that, right? So honestly takes about 5-10 minutes, and it really centers out, all your children.
Before you go to school.
Yeah.
Wake up those 15 minutes earlier and choose to use those to meditate for 15 minutes before they
for sure
go off to school and have to deal with the stress of.
But so you said something. We do have a picture, and you can, of my son doing it. Okay, so Zervain used to be, and no judgment on my son, but Zervain used to be horrible. I mean, he would kick his brother and his sister. He would attack them when they were doing it. And he's like, I don't want to do this. But did you see him the last time when you were here? Okay, so he's the first one that gets into it, because he's the one that needs it the most, right? He's always stressing out everything that touches him. If something's off center, he has doesn't handle stress well, but that's normal. But I'll tell you one thing, with this guided meditation with him, he's really, really good. Like, he's one of my best students when it comes to meditation, but it took since September. So he's only started doing this about a month ago. So you're right. So, and this is just a child. Like, he wasn't even disciplined. He didn't even know what discipline meant, right? Because I'm the one that has to, like, hey, Zareen, we have to do this. Come on. It takes a lot of patience to try to control a child and say, okay, let's try to. And so I let it be. I let him figure it out on his own. And it took till September, till January for him to get to where he is now. And he's amazing. You saw it. It's so cute.
It's amazing. All right. Anything else you wanted to add onto the meditation theme?
No, I just, the only thing I wanted to throw in, and it's so key, is, we are, as a collective, as, a population, we literally stress out about everything, right? You tell me I'm wrong, like, constantly, and now with
I'm the king of stress.
I know. And with the pandemic, we're all in that fear-based, frequency. Don't come close to me. Don't touch me. You go to a store, everybody's high, like, just high anxiety, high stress. The only thing I would suggest, right, is, nobody is out to harm you, right? Like, I get there's people out there, but nobody's intentionally, and, like, the whole population's not out after you. And the only worry I have is, like, this is what society's going to be. They're going to be in a fear base always. So just be that person that changes your frequency. Try to get out of that fear base. So meditation will help you with that, right? So that fear base that everybody is residing on, because I went to the store with Zareen once, and Zareen will laugh about this, but I was walking by this woman and she just turned and yelled at me. And I'm a pretty happy person. My team knows, I'm pretty happy. And I was actually flying high. And she just started yelling at me. Like, she thought I was coming closer. And I'm like, well, it's so slammed in here. I got to get around you, right? But I didn't say anything. I just looked at her and was like, I had so much compassion for her. I felt bad for her. I was like, oh my gosh, this poor woman is petrified, right? But she has to come out and buy groceries where, and I got that. So I just think that, if we as a society start to have compassion towards each other and be like, Jamie, I feel bad that he actually is in a fear-based mode, right? Like, so let's have compassion for each other, and then frequencies start to change.
Yeah.
But if we just on top of fear, it just gets worse, right? And I understand with the pandemic, it's very fearful and everybody's afraid, and anxiety. Kids are home, parents are slammed, taking care of kids, trying to do this, trying to do that. I'll be honest with you, and, like, call me positive, whatever. I think it was a blessing for me because I got to spend the time with my kids. I worked through my maternity leave, and working through my maternity leave was horrible for me because I didn't get to spend that time with my kids. So this time for me is like, I'm like in a dream state right now. I feel like, am I in a dream state? I'm so happy about this. But that's because my mindset is set differently. Like, I wouldn't follow the trend of, what society has you think that your kids are a burden. Kids are not burdens. Kids are a blessing, right? So, maybe change it up. Have fun with them, right? Do something different with them, right? And keep, the whole family occupied. But, spending less time with our kids, that's not correct, right? And I feel like society has made it where, the less time you spend with your kids, the better. Make them independent, separate them, put them in school at an early age. To me, it's like, and it's a difference of opinions on this, but I truly believe that if you look at that lens differently and you look at your kids and think, oh man, I'm so lucky I get to spend a day with them. And I work full time too. Like, don't think I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I have 30 agents I manage. Right. So and I have a book of business I work. So, and people are like, how do you do it? I'm like, the time with my kids, I get really excited that I get to spend time with them, but I get to see them anytime I want. So I can be on Zoom calls, but I get to hop out and talk to my kids and see how they're doing. So I just think it's just a mindset that you need to change. That's it. That's the only 2 cents I have.
All right. Those were a lot of 2 cents.
Yeah.
They were good ones. They were good ones. All right.
For sure.
So that's it for this one. And we'll catch everybody on the flip side.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Cool.
Checking you out on the next one.